You're now listening to SEC Breezy. I'm your host, Danny, and today we have a special guest joining us here to talk about their recent single, Robes on Fire and Blooming in New Orleans. Ink to Spill. Let's tell the listeners who Ink to Spill is and the names of each band member.
Gus Reeves, and I sing for the band, and I play guitar, and I do a lot of the music composition. And I met Ernie and Bob through mutual friends. And
my name is Ernie Adams. I'm the drummer. Originally from Milwaukee. I'm in Chicago now. And man, I'll get some facts from Gus, and I'll hear maybe what kind of groove that I hear. I enjoy because Gus comes from a different background than myself. I come from more of a jazz or funk, or even world, hearing percussion and different things. So, man, it's really a joy hearing where Bob, what kind of lyrics he puts in, and I'm trying to hear the rhythm in his lyrics and the rhythm in not just in the guitar playing, but just in the vibe that these cats are putting out. Sometimes the vibe will give more of a sense of groove than the actual playing.
I definitely do. How did everybody meet?
Yeah, it was an unusual situation. I was writing lyrics for a band that those guys are also in, and I guess I was writing a few too many. So without telling me, the producer of that band, Equilibrio, farmed one of the songs out to Gus and Ryan, and they sent me back a demo, and it was exactly what I was looking for. And at that time, Ryan said, "Hey, we'd like to do an album with you." So,
and then it was created.
It was crazy because I'd never met Gus before, and I knew Ryan and Ernie from working with the other band and from another business venture that we have. But it got started electronically.
It also really helps to have a leader like Bob who respects our individual talents. I've been in a situation, cats, man, I just heard you play. I love your playing. And then they put you in the band, and then they control everything.
Right.
But Bob has such a great instinct to trust us, which only makes us want to serve the music even harder. You know what I mean?
Yes. Was that initial response, or did it take time?
No, man, that was off the bat, man. I mean, not blowing smoke, but it's refreshing working with these guys, man, because it's like being in a conversation. Everyone wants to hear what the other one has to say or what they're feeling, as opposed to someone saying, "Well, this is what we're going to talk about," or I'm going to hog the conversation. So, no, man, it was initially a refreshing, very giving, just it's a great atmosphere to create in, man, and I need that.
It clicked right away, and I mean, it was really soon that we had a lot of material. But that was great. A lot of times, you're kind of in a band if you're an original band and you're creating music, sometimes it's like, oh, we need to write more songs. We've never ever had that issue. It's like there's so much backlog right now that we're just trying to keep up with Bob.
I know, man. He's so prolific, man. And just like, out of the blue, I just get this text, and it's like, wow. This cat, and he's, and then again, my wheels start turning in my head, and I'm hearing a tempo, I'm hearing a time signature, a groove. I tell you, I love. For me, this is really a great experience.
Now, jumping into the singles, the recent singles, Blooming in New Orleans, to be exact. Could you tell the listeners more about the music video, and how you highlighted New Orleans?
Yeah, I worked with a guy.
believe it or not, in Colombia. And he's done a few video editing jobs for us. So we work with him over Freelancer, and he's won 2 or 3 of the jobs so far.
Nice.
And then we pasted in some footage that we had done back in the summer of 17 in Chicago at Flashpoint Studios. And so we were able to get the guys worked into it, even though a lot of the footage is stock footage from people who are selling it on the internet now.
Now, Robes on Fire came out last month. Some can say it's a little bit controversial, because you're actually bringing some skeletons out the closet, I would say.
Some freaks out the closet too.
I want to know what inspired that song, and
so I can talk to the lyric side of it, and then maybe Gus and Ernie can talk to the composition.
Yeah.
When I was raising my kids, I started seeing a lot of these articles back in the mid-'90s, and I was raised Catholic. My mom's a very devout practicing, and we were raising our kids in the Catholic Church at the time. And, it just got more and more concerning over the years. And, I got to the point eventually where I realized my values weren't exactly fitting with what was being preached, and certainly was not with what was being acted upon. And so I kind of gave up on the church. And so I was driving to see my son play. My son's a clarinetist, playing up at a camp up in Maine. And I was driving up there, and I think I heard a NPR story, highlighting one of these situations. I can't remember which one it was. And, I started thinking about it, and I just started writing songs at that time, and so I was thinking about it, and then a little while later they got into a funk program, and all of a sudden I'm thinking about writing this funk song. So I'm driving like 85 miles an hour at night from Jersey to Maine, and trying to keep these 2 different songs in my head that are completely different, so I could paste them together once I got to the hotel. So once I got to the hotel, I spent about 45 minutes tapping them into my phone to make sure I didn't forget them the next day. Go ahead, Gus.
Well, let's see. So then we got the lyrics, and it was obviously, this was kind of like our first big, it was the first really intense song, the first really serious set of lyrics that we'd received from Bob. And so it was kind of like we had to take a new approach musically. And I think Ryan had the idea for that great sort of synth part that kind of drives the whole song. And he really, I know that if he were here, that he would, speak to how strongly he is opposed to, the issue that is discussed in that song, and he would feel it in the work that he put into it. And so once I got that from him, it was just gangbusters. I mean, I knew what I wanted to do with the chorus and the vocals. And then there were a lot of lyrics. A lot of times, Bob, it's great because Bob will send more than enough. You know what I mean? It's hard to like pull lyrics out of someone when you need lyrics for a song, but you don't have to do that with Bob. You have more than enough, and there was so much that was like eloquent. I didn't want to cut anything out, and so there's that, the spoken word section. It's not even attempting to rhyme, really. It's just kind of like just this outpouring of you know, feeling about the topic, and I that's my favorite section of the song. And every time it gets to that part, I get the chills.
Yeah, and you know, the song, the sampling is so key to setting the mood for that song.
Oh yeah, the samples for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, when we play it live, it still sounds great, but it doesn't have the same intensity without the samples.
You know, I'm really very I enjoy the fact that song. I mean, it really deals with the issues, not just an observation or anger or anything. I mean, there's some of the lines in there are very they really are dead on.
That's right.
Without being without sarcastic and just all emotion. I mean, I think Bob really laid the groundwork for being able to have a discussion on that. And then Gus, your attitude, man, you attack those lyrics, and especially the spoken word, man. Gus, I mean, for someone, you're so versatile, able to sing a kind of a folk tune, or even a country. But then, when I met you, we recorded a reggae tune, right?
Yeah, man, I was super into reggae when we met.
Right, and then spit lyrics on a rap tune, and sincere about it, So yeah, I think all the elements for Robes on Fire came together with lyrics, and then Gus really singing it like he meant it.
Right.
And so,
the lyrics were, they were I like that the lyrics were, there was nothing gentle or like casual about the lyrics. They're very pointed, but they're not blunt, and they're not aggressive. It's just like, I feel like it's serious but eloquent, and I don't know, right. I'm super proud of that one.
Right.
I was trying to be very careful that I wasn't laying the blame on the membership of the church.
Uh-huh.
Right.
It was the leadership, and whatever illness was working its way through the institution.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, we haven't been to the Vatican yet. We haven't been to the Vatican yet, so I think we did a good job.
Well, and Bob brought up this thing where it's like, people might not, we might send it to someone and they might not respond, but no one's going to come back and in defense of that behavior.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, because you brought it up intellectually, and like you said, there's no way you can say, well, it's just not a point, and again, and the main thing is that he's not doing it for shock value. So if there's no one in the song does it feel like, oh man, I want to bring this up so I can get some attention. I mean, it's really something that could be used in a documentary.
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, it's the lyrics are on, and there's nothing to apologize about because it's real.
What inspired the name Ink to Spill?
So we started out as the Quills, and we actually got awarded the trademark for that, and we launched a couple of songs under that name, and then I ended up I was in Chicago, and Gus was at the same party I was at for our friend's daughter, and I was watching what was going on with the current administration, and on the plane ride back, birthday party, I wrote a song called Ink to Spill, and it's kind of my displeasure with the president talking down free press and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of thing that makes this country go. And so Ink to Spill kind of flowed into the title as part of the fabric of our nation is its free press, and that'll be one of the songs that is launched before probably around June, May or June. And when I shared this with our friend in Chicago, he's like immediately said, "Well, that should be the name of your band." I said, "I was thinking that same thing." And then, as I thought about it a little bit more, it started feeling more natural. And I hired a guy a little over a year ago to help us on the business end of this. And as he looked into marketing the quills, he said, I know you have the trademark, but there's some problems here from a marketing standpoint. There's other bands out there that use variations on that name. There's a Swedish band that has 14 CDs, I think, called The Quill. And so he said, "Do you have any other backup names?" And I said, "Yeah, I've been sitting on this idea for a while, and just decided it fits now, and let's go with it."
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, so euphemism for free speech.
That's right.
And so many other things.
Yeah. True.
Now,
Go there.
Well, I don't know what's on your mind there.
my question is, what changes over the past 2 to 3 decades have you noticed? Good and bad, I guess you could say. What are some good and bad things over the past 2-3 decades that you've noticed?
You want to take that one, Ernie?
Yeah, definitely, Ernie.
I love music. I hate the music business.
Mm-hmm.
It's what makes it has nothing to do. Well, I won't say nothing, but what gets pushed has less and less to do with the actual music itself. I get called to do sessions with someone, and I just go, "Man, this is horrible." And then a couple months later, I hear it on the radio, and it's like, "Well, how did it get out there?" Because you have the right people explained it. Well, that to me, that's more of a determinant on what's going to be heard than the quality of the music. I get called to back up people who he just got signed, and back in the day, that person wouldn't even get listened to, But yeah, it's definitely a business, and even when they say alternative, alternative isn't alternative anymore because it's alternative that's become mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
And they always look for something that's new and hip, but then they take it and they just wear it out, and it's old and people are ready to move on. There's a major artist that hits, then you see everyone looking for the second or third or fourth version of that just to try to get sales. And you don't get rewarded to be different.
What can the fans expect for the rest of the year?
Yeah, so next month we'll be launching a song called Chapter 12 about a literary chapter in a book called A Visit from the Goon Squad. It's the most creative literature I've ever seen in that there's no prose in the chapter. It all reads like a PowerPoint presentation,
Mm-hmm.
charts and graphs, and yet it's this amazing storytelling device. And it's about an autistic kid who's obsessed with the pauses and the placement of pauses and the length of pauses in rock songs. That's his thing. And my son gave it to me. We were boarding a plane to go to British Columbia from New Jersey at the time. He handed it to me, and we're going to see a Collective Soul concert. And after a while, I started imagining this kid being on the airplane ride next to me for 6+ hours, whatever it was. And I just started playing with my phone, and later we had a song. So that's coming out next, and then I think shortly after that, Ink to Spill will come out as our self-titled song. And then we'll probably take a break in the middle of the summer. People's attentions are kind of on their vacations and that.
Right.
And then September we'll probably come out with a song it's about the Dreamers. And kind of the crackdown that's going on with ICE in some of those families. And it's called Where Went Jose.
I can't wait for that one, man.
That's a bad tune, too.
Yeah.
Bad tune.
Written from the perspective of a young boy who's just lost his friend to an ICE.
To kind of,
got some political connotations, for sure.
how can the listeners find the music on social media? Follow your social media pages and such.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. We've definitely got work to do to catch up to the rest of the world on social media, but we are on Facebook. There's an Ink to Spill page, and we do have a website, inktospill.com. And I just joined Instagram last weekend, so
All right.
my best trying to catch up to
Bob, slow down, man. Don't hurt yourself.
I think Marilyn will have me on Twitter before the end of March. So.
It's tough.
We also have an 800 number, 1-800-INK Spill.
How about the websites? Give everyone's website out, because I like the websites.
Yeah, Ernie's got a great site.
I've got to bring that up. I've got to bring that up to date too, man. It's ErnieAdamsMusic.com. 1D ERNI. So it's ErnieAdamsMusic.com, and it's just shows me the different styles I play and the places I've been, things I've done, and to all the girls I've lost before. No, it's just music. It's just, it's really almost for myself, man. I can look back and say, okay, man, this was worth it. But I've gotten a lot of work from it. But yeah, I mean, I can't wait to get my Ink to Spill page up.
There you go.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, listening to it and taking the time to talk with us tonight.
No problem. Thank you guys so much. Any last words that you all would like to say to the listeners by chance?
Man, keep your head held high. I'll tell you what.
There you go. I just want to say, I mean, in talking about the lyrics and music aspects, I mean, to me, this band, this music, it's just coming at music lyrically, intellectually, but with that said, I try to put a groove on that to make it funk, to make it swing, to make it groove, So, man, I think there's something for everyone with this music.
Yeah, we have a slogan that's kind of our battle cry, and it's that just lyrically, composition standpoint, the great percussion that Ernie brings to the table and experience. We always say we're all about the swagger.
There you go.
Yes, sir.
And we have the moves like Jagger. At least Bob does.